I, Rajshri Sharma, working as an assistant professor in School of Business and Management, Jaipur National University, Jaipur. I welcome you all on the prestigious Institute of Jaipur National University, Jaipur. My work area of specialization is finance and human resource management. I will be taking your subject, principle and practices of management for this academic session. This subject is mainly dealing with the management, its skills, its ability, and the role of a manager, his functions that need to be performed by a management associate. So, before starting the subject, let's have a glimpse of what you are going to opt in this subject for the coming academic session. This will be your subject content for the first academic session. The module first will be covering your concept of management, its functions, the role of a manager, and different aspects of the introduction part of management. The second module will be working with what is planning, because management will ultimately leads only with a good management and a planning skills. With organizing, planning is just the pathway, and you need to organize each and every component of the planning with its full-fledged organized elements. Third module will be dealing with the different techniques of selection. Everything is impossible without the human resource. So human resource is considered as one of the basic elements of management. So third module is be purely working with staffing and how you will recruit those human resource, how you will direct them to reach your goals of the organization. Module 4 will be discussing about the different theoretical aspects of leaderships and motivation factor. There are different theoretical behaviors like behavioral aptitude and which you need to study while you are working as a management associate. And the last module will be discussing about the control mechanism of management along with its latest trends of management. You might have heard about artificial intelligence, Six Sigma, outsourcing. These are the latest trends that management is dealing of. So these are the 5 prospects on which you will be working or you will be studying. Most of you might have been gone through the content, but we will be working as per the latest trends, concept and management approaches that an MBA holder should hold on. So before starting this subject, I just want a glimpse that you should know. Many of you might be from a BCom or a BBA background who much have had about the word management. But it's regularly changes. Management need to be changed, need to be coped with the coming situation. So now we will be dealing with what exactly the modern concept of management is working about. So in this module or in this video, we will be dealing with the concept of management, nature of management, what are the functions a management or a manager need to work, levels of management, your kinds of managers, different kinds of managers are working in an organization, role of a manager, what roles a manager plays, what company looks for in a manager, what a company is, the basic requirement that a company needs in a manager. In this tutorial, I will be taking the first 3 points, that is the concept, nature and functions of management, and I will be making you aware of what the management in these 3 concepts. So the word management. Mary Parker Follett, a well-known management guru, has given the basic definition of management in which he mentioned management is the art of getting things done through other. This was the basic deadline, or you can say the baseline of management, that management is a art which needs what you need someone to do your work and you need to manage it, how you make them work according to your plan. So management is said to be an art of getting things done by the people. But this definition has some kind of drawbacks, like it never took into consideration the scientific factors, the continuous give-going factors. For example, your mother wants you to clear the room, but it not works on how frequently you will be cleaning your room. This is what is lagging in the definition of Mary Perkins. This is not the current which we need to work on. So the management definition was further classified into two different categories. The concept of management was given as a traditional concept and as a modern concept. Traditional concept was thus the concept of getting the things done from others. But what the modern concept talks about, it talks about efficiency, effectiveness. The two basic term that we require is efficiency and effectiveness. You need to work, you need to make your team work, but using the time, using the resources to the optimum utilization. Effectiveness is always talking about achieving the goals in time. For example, you want to produce 500 units in 1 month. You produced, but you make lot of wastage, then it is considered as a management where there is effectiveness but no efficiency. Because what efficiency deals with? Efficiency deals with the optimum utilization of resources. So if you want to produce 500 units in a month, you need to have both effectiveness as well as efficiency. Effectiveness means completing the task on the given time schedule, reaching your goals, but at the same time, you need to work on the efficiency part, that is cost cutting part, that is the optimum utilization of resources or low wastage of resources. Then only it is called as a management with good efficiency and good effectiveness. So at this point of time, the more effective definition that management lay down is: management is the process of planning, organizing, directing, controlling activities of and using resources of any organization for accomplishing the organizational goals efficiently and effectively in an ever-changing environment. Here, environment means both your internal as well as your external environment. So this was the correct definition that our management uses in the modern era of management. So here management, you can see, is a process. It's keep on going and going, whether your organization exists for a stipulated period of time or ever ending. It requires planning that need to be done from every day. In your everyday life also, you are doing management. You are planning when to take your classes, you are planning when to go for your dinner, you are planning to go for a movie with your friends. You are managing, and for that you are doing planning. Then comes your organizing. You need to organize your day-to-day work as per, because there are only 24 hours in a day that needs a management, that needs a direction. This organization leads to the process, the directing part, and ultimately you have to control your 24 hours timing schedule. When you need to study, when you need to go with your friends, when you need to give time, when you need to sleep, you need to have a control on each and every factor. So this is a process that keep on running in every business, in everyone's life. So that's management is considered to be a process. Then it is said it is a using resources. Yes, management uses different type of resources: man, material, machine, finance. These are the resources every management need to work with, and it ultimate result is accomplishment the goals of the organization. So it is mentioned in the definition that using resources of an organization for accomplishing the organizational goals. You need to work for the ultimate result, that is the goal achievement of the organization. With what? Efficient and effectiveness, as we have discussed, that is on time and proper and optimum utilization of resources. Ever changing environment means your internal and external environment. You need to work on both these factors. So this is the basic definition of management we are in today's life. Then come the 5 resources we are talking of, that is the 5 M's of management. The first M of management is material. Management needs to deal with different methods, different tools and techniques that require different systems, different organizational structure. So a manager needs to know the different methods that need to follow in different types of organization. Then the second M is your material, your resources. Your material can be anything, your raw material, your service, your profile. It can be any material that need for an organization to reach its destination. Then the third M is your machinery. Whatever tools, whatever equipments, whatever plant machinery you are using, you need to manage. If you are using your cell phone, you need to manage what are the apps you need on your phone. What are the apps that you need on your home screen that you use more frequently? This is what is a machinery management. Everyone is dealing with some kind of machinery in your day-to-day life. In your home also, you have a refrigerator, you have an AC, you have a remote, you have a geyser. You need to manage all these machinery. Same way in organization also, there are different machinery that a manager needs to manage. And the fourth one is your money, the main resource, the main financial element, the money. Management needs to have more focus on this point, that is the money. Because ultimate money is what? Your lifeblood. Without money, you can't do anything. So everything needs, but the ultimate most important is your money. And from the figure, you come to know what is the fifth element or the fifth M of management. Yes, it's man. As the diagram makes it possible that management is a combination of man, method, machinery, material, and money. The management needs to work on all those resources, all these 5 resources. If you have a good knowledge about these 5 resources, you can become a good manager. It is just an intangible factor that you deal with. Whether it's an intangible feeling, whether what your goal targets achieve, this is what is a manager is performing about. Next is why. Now this is what is management we are talking about. But why we need to study management? Who needs to study management? Who are the persons or the organization where management exists? Is there any profile? Is there any size where only management arises? No. Management arises everywhere. So this states that management is needed not only in a small, large, medium, it needs everywhere in our day-to-day life. If you can see on your screen, the first point, management is needed in all sides of organization, whether it's a small, that is SME, any small medium enterprise, whether it's a large organization, that is an MNC, management is required everywhere. All type of organization, whether it's a profit making, that is economic activity organization, or a not-for-profit making organization. What is a profit making organization? Any business who wants to earn money, earns profit, that is a profit making organization. Not profit making organization, those organizations, their main motive is not earning profit but providing services like the hospital, charitable trust, NGOs. But these organizations, these institutes, your education institute, they also require management that is to be performed in an organization. So whether it's a profit making or not, it needs to be what needs a management. All organizational level, bottom or top, whether it's a top management, whether it's a middle level management, whether it's a lower level, the planners, the board of directors, the CEO, they also require management. They also require to hold their management activity. Similarly, the managers working as a link between the two levels also needs to manage things. Similarly, the supervisor, the foremen, the laymen, in fact, the degraded workers, they are performing their work with some kind of management associated with it. So whether it's any level, management is needed everywhere. Then organizational area, manufacturing or marketing or human resource or accounting information system, whatever is your area, then also it's require management, because management is interdependent. No department is fulfilled by its own. You need some help from other department. Marketing department needs, finance department needs, because marketing department needs finance from finance department. Similarly, finance department, if they accumulate fund and it is not utilized, your demands are not fulfilled in the market by advertisement, you cannot go through the process. So everyone, which any area of organization management exists. So management is not only a top level management work, it is dependent in every factor, whether it's small, medium, levels, area, everywhere you can see management. In fact, a baby born is with management. He is hungry, he needs to cry. That is his management skills. He cries and makes everyone know that he is hungry, he is thirsty. That is where the management gets started, from the birth of a child. So this was the basic concept why we need management. Now we will discuss about how management is, the nature, the importance, the characteristics of management. You can see in the picture that everyone is related with one another. This is what is management. Management cannot be achieved by a single person. In an organization, management is a group activity. So the first and the foremost nature of the management is it's a goal oriented. That every management organization needs some kind of goals, that every organization have to achieve some kind of goal in the ultimate stage of their business life. So management is a goal oriented. You have opted MBA. Why? You want to become a professional management degree holder for MBA, so that you can have a future of a great importance. This is your goals. Every organization similarly have some kind of goals in management. This is what is the first nature of management, that is, management has goal oriented. Next is management is a process. Management is what? It is a process. As I have made, it is a planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and coordinating. It's a process that keeps on running in an organization. So you need to know what process you are working with. You can be a different manager working at different level. You can be a plan manager. You can be a stuffing manager. So whatever level you are working with, whatever process you are dealing with, but there also its needs are to be following a process. For example, let's take a company want to subscribe 100 million subscribers. This is their goal, but for that they need to have some kind of planning. For that they need to have some kind of organizing people who knows what is the target of their organization to achieve the goal that was set, that 1 million subscriber we need. So this is what is a continuous process. So third point we were discussing, management is pervasive. Pervasive means it is applicable in every levels, in every organization, in every factors of the management. So it is not on a specified area or a specified organization, but it is everywhere. It is top level, it is middle level, it is small enterprise, it is large enterprise. As we discussed in the previous slide, that management is needed everywhere. This is what is the another nature of management, that management is pervasive. Next, management is a group activity. Every employee in an organization have their individual objective, but it will ultimately leads to a group activity. So it is the management or the manager who motivates his employee to work for the goal of the organization by fulfilling their individual objective. Only then the group activity, individual activity, or we can say the organizational activity can be achieved. So management is considered to be a group activity. Next, it is said management is intangible. Whether a manager is a good or not, you cannot test it by some measuring tools, but you can measure it by the terms like you can feel, you can see the target area, whether he is achieving on time or not, how efficient he or the manager is. This is what is an intangible element that you cannot measure using a tool, that is only felt by the management, by the employee, by the organization. So this is one of the nature that management is intangible. And the most important, management is optimally utilizing the resources. It is only a manager will be considered good enough only and only if he is effective as well as efficient enough to utilize the resources of the organization. In minimum cost, if a manager is giving a maximum output, then only it is called that management is utilizing the resources to the optimum level. So these are some of the nature of management you will see in any organization that you will be working in your coming future. Then next, we will be talking about the functions of management. The first and the foremost function of management needs to do is planning. Planning is nothing, it's about what, whom, how, when to be do. What to do, when to do, how to do, by whom we need to do. For example, you are having a marriage ceremony in your home. For that, you require who will be working with the catering department, who will be working with the decoration department, who will be handling the guest. So this is what is a planning. Now in this stage, you are just planning about the elements by whom you want to do what. So after you have made a good planning, next comes your organizing. You need to organize, you need to have, this is the only departmentization, it is the only cause where organization forms departments, where organization forms units, that the finance will be held by the finance department, the marketing will be holded by the marketing department, and someone will be made responsible for that. This is that organizational part that play a very important role. A planning will not only give you a good result if you have not achieve a good organizational strategy. If your organizing work is not up to the mark, you will not have a good planning results. So organizing is one of the important function of a management. Then after organizing, you need stuffing. Stuffing means recruitment of human resource. You have a plan, you have resources, but you need someone to implement that. So stuffing means choosing the right person with the right qualification at the right time for a right job. This only leads to a good management. Having a right and a correct person at the right job to do a right performance. For example, I am from a management background. If I am asked to work for a BTech background, I am not the perfect person to work with. That means you have chosen a wrong stuffing process. You have chosen a wrong activity. You are doing a wrong function of management. So knowing the right person for the right job is another most important function of management. Then the next function is directing. You have good plan, you have organized every elements, you have a good human resource background, but you need to make them know what performance they need to do, who will handle the marketing department, who will be working for the finance department, who will be working for the training and development department. You need to direct each and every employee. Directing is also, this is the only stage where you give designations like supervisors, where you need to motivate, where leaders grow. This is the only stage of the functions of management where different criteria of management is being studied. After this, the last function of management is controlling. Whatever standard you have set, whatever you have measuring tools, by using those tools, when you measure with the actual performance, that is a standard you have set and you are measuring with the actual standard and the actual performance, if you find any deviation, then you need to work on that. You are not according to your plan. I want 1 million subscriber in the end of 12th month, and in that month of 10th, I have observed that only I have gone through 50 lakh subscribers. Then I am not up to the standard. So planning, organizing, stuffing, directing, controlling only works in a continuous process system. If you see, this is a circle that keep on rotating in an organization. So it's a function of the management to plan, to organize, to stuff, to direct, and to control all the functional elements of the management. So this leads to the end of my PPT, where I will just summarize my statement that management is getting things done by other, but with efficiency and effectiveness. A manager who is intangible source for the organization, it will work on different aspects of management like planning, organizing, directing, stuffing, controlling, and this is only leads to a good manager. So it is always said a manager is not created, it is born. As I mentioned in one of my example, a child when it's born, he cries for his thirst, and from that only he learns how to manage. For with this statement, I would like to conclude my tutorial, and thank you. Wish you a happy and a safe life. Thank you.